Imagine a world bustling with life right in your backyard, a secret universe where tiny workers labor tirelessly, and feathered friends keep vigilant watch. This is the vibrant ecosystem of gardens, a place where beneficial insects and birds play critical roles. They pollinate our plants, control pests, and in return, find nourishment and shelter. They're essential players in the health and vitality of our green spaces. So let's pull back the leaves and delve deeper. Welcome to our journey into garden wildlife, how to attract beneficial insects and birds. First, we turn our lenses to the tiny heroes of our gardens, the beneficial insects. Buzzing around tirelessly, bees are the master pollinators. They flit from flower to flower, carrying pollen on their legs, and in doing so, play a crucial role in the reproduction of plants. But it's not just about the bees. Let's not forget our little spotted friends, the ladybugs. These charming creatures are voracious predators of aphids, a common garden pest. Each ladybug can consume up to 50 aphids a day, making them a natural form of pest control. So, the next time you spot a ladybug in your garden, remember, it's hard at work protecting your plants from destructive pests. Bees and ladybugs are just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole host of other beneficial insects out there, working in harmony with nature to keep our gardens thriving and vibrant. Beyond bees and ladybugs, many other insects contribute to a healthy garden. Let's turn our attention to lacewings, hoverflies, and ground beetles. Each of these are unsung heroes in their own right. First up, lacewings. These delicate insects are not just pretty faces. Their larvae are voracious predators, consuming vast amounts of aphids, mites, and other pests. They're like the hidden knights of your garden, battling unwanted invaders. Next we have hoverflies. These nectar lovers resemble small bees, but don't let their appearance fool you. Their larvae are enthusiastic pest hunters, gobbling up bothersome bugs, especially aphids, at an astonishing rate. And finally, let's not forget our ground beetles. These nocturnal creatures are nature's cleanup crew. They patrol the garden under the cover of darkness, feasting on slugs, snails, and other pests that lurk in the shadows. As we see, each insect has a unique role to play. They're the uncelebrated champions of our garden ecosystems, quietly maintaining balance and promoting growth. From the ground we take to the skies, meet the birds, our pest controllers. These feathered friends play a crucial role in maintaining a healthy, pest-free garden. Take, for instance, the ever-vigilant robin. A single robin can consume up to 14 feet of insects in a day, including those pesky garden pests like slugs, snails, and beetles. And let's not forget the charming blue tits. These tiny birds have a voracious appetite for aphids, caterpillars, and other soft-bodied insects that can wreak havoc on your plants. By inviting these birds into your garden, you're not only enhancing its natural beauty, but you're also enlisting an efficient, environmentally friendly pest control squad. So, the next time you spot a bird in your garden, remember, they're not just there for a quick visit. They're hard at work, keeping your garden in balance. Birds not only add beauty to our gardens, but they also keep it healthy. Now let's discuss how we can make our gardens a haven for these beneficial insects. Creating a garden that attracts these tiny helpers isn't as daunting as it might seem. Start by planting a variety of native flowering plants. These will not only add color and beauty to your garden, but also provide food and shelter for insects like bees, butterflies, and ladybugs. Next, consider creating rock piles or leaving a portion of your yard untamed. These areas can serve as homes for ground beetles and other insects. Remember, not all insects are pests. Many, like the ground beetle, are vital in controlling harmful insects. Also, avoid using chemical pesticides. These can harm beneficial insects and disrupt the balance of your garden's ecosystem. Instead, let the insects do their work. They are nature's pest controllers. With these steps, you're well on your way to creating a vibrant, healthy garden teeming with life. A few simple changes can make your garden an insect paradise. From insects, we move on to our feathered friends. Birds, with their delightful songs and vibrant colors, can bring an extra layer of life to our gardens. But how do we make our green spaces more inviting for them? Let's dive in. Firstly, setting up bird feeders is an excellent way to attract a variety of species. Offering a mix of seeds, suet, and fruit can cater to different bird diets. Secondly, consider installing nesting boxes. These provide safe spaces for birds to raise their young, especially in areas where natural nesting sites might be scarce. Don't forget about water. Birds need it for drinking and bathing. A shallow water bath or even a small pond can make your garden a hotspot for our winged friends. Lastly, remember, consistency is key. Regularly maintaining these features will keep the birds coming back. With these features you can turn your garden into a bird sanctuary. Attracting wildlife is not just about aesthetics, it's about sustainable pest control. For those unfamiliar with the term, let's introduce Integrated Pest Management, or IPM. This is a holistic approach to pest control that focuses on creating a balanced ecosystem in your garden, rather than resorting to chemical warfare. The beauty of IPM is that it's not just effective, it's also eco-friendly. By welcoming beneficial insects and birds into your space, you're essentially recruiting an army of natural pest controllers. They munch on pests, helping keep their populations in check, while also contributing to the pollination and decomposition processes that are crucial for a thriving garden. And the best part? Less reliance on chemicals means healthier soil, healthier plants, and a healthier you. Not to mention, it's a win for our feathered and six-legged friends who get a safe and nutritious habitat. Incorporating wildlife into your garden can reduce your dependence on chemical pesticides. Caring for wildlife is a year-round commitment. As the seasons change, so do the needs of the creatures that inhabit your garden. In spring, consider planting nectar-rich flowers like foxgloves and lavender. They're a feast for pollinators emerging from winter hibernation. Come summer, the focus shifts to providing water. A shallow bird bath or even a simple dish of water can be a lifesaver for birds and insects alike. As autumn leaves begin to fall, resist the urge to tidy up too much. A pile of leaves or a log pile can provide a cozy winter home for insects and small mammals. When winter rolls around, remember that food can be scarce. Hanging feeders with fat balls or seeds can help birds survive the colder months. So, whether it's planting season-specific flora, providing water, or creating a winter sanctuary, every season brings opportunities to support your local wildlife. With these tips, you can provide for your garden wildlife all year long. Don't just take our word for it, hear it from those who have done it. Let's start with June from Maine. She transformed her urban backyard into a bustling hub for bees and butterflies, simply by adding native flowering plants. She says, "It was like magic. Suddenly my garden was aflutter with life." Then there's Sam from California, who saw a significant decrease in aphids after welcoming ladybugs into his vegetable patch. "It was nature's pest control. The aphids were gone and my veggies thrived," he shares. From Florida we have Grace, who set up bird feeders and nesting boxes. Now she enjoys the daily spectacle of colorful birds visiting her garden. "It's my little piece of paradise," she smiles. Finally, meet Paul from New York, who embraced the untamed. By leaving a section of his yard wild, he saw an increase in ground beetles that helped keep slugs at bay. "My garden became more balanced. It's fascinating." As you can see, with some effort and care, you too can create a thriving garden ecosystem. Are you ready to make a difference in your garden? Imagine the satisfaction of seeing your garden teeming with life, knowing that you've created a thriving ecosystem right in your backyard. It begins with a single step, and there's no better time than now to start. Think about the tips we've shared today. Consider starting simple. Perhaps plant a few native flowering plants that will attract bees and butterflies. Or why not set up a bird feeder to welcome feathered friends? These small actions can create a ripple effect, benefiting not only your garden but also the local wildlife. Creating habitats for insects might seem a daunting task, but it can be as straightforward as leaving a patch of your garden a little wilder or setting up a small rock pile. Remember, the goal is to create a balanced, self-sustaining ecosystem where every creature plays a role. Bird-friendly environments are equally simple to create. A bird bath or a nesting box can make a world of difference to your local bird population, providing them with much-needed resources and giving you the joy of observing them up close. We've also discussed the concept of integrated pest management. By attracting beneficial insects and birds, you're naturally controlling pests in your garden. This reduces the need for chemical pesticides, making your garden safer for all its inhabitants and for you. Seasonal care is vital too. Adjusting your gardening practices according to the season can ensure that your garden supports wildlife throughout the year. Whether it's planting season-specific blooms or adjusting your bird feeding practices, every action counts. And finally, remember the success stories we've shared. They're proof that anyone can transform their garden into a haven for wildlife. If they can do it, so can you. So let's get started. Let's create gardens that are not just beautiful and productive, but also buzzing with life. Gardens that are safe havens for beneficial insects and birds, contributing to local biodiversity. Remember, every garden can be a sanctuary. It's in your hands.